Welcome back to the Glacial Gold Hunter. Today we're going to answer the very important question, is glacial gold hunting profitable?
You serious?
I'm here at a new stream and we're going to look for gold. I don't know if there is any, so we got to find it. But typically when I come out, I look for gravel bars. That's always been the best spot for me to find gold. Here, there's not really gravel bars as much as just big boulders everywhere. Now there's gravel mixed in, but the river's flowing really straight and it's not like bending where it's piling up a lot of gravel. So I'm gonna go in and amongst the boulders and try to find some low pressure zones that are depositing gravel and test there. For example, right here, a giant boulder, and then there is some gravel building up behind it. So maybe that's a good spot to test. Let's take a pan. Now my first thought is the gravel's fairly small and it seems a little too sandy. Not the best for gold to drop out, but we'll see.
You never know unless you try.
Well, and there is one little speck there. So there's one little speck of gold in our first pan. That's a good sign. So finding one speck in our first pan is a really good sign, but I'm gonna take a few more test pans here and there throughout the creek to kind of learn and see if I can find a little bit better spot. So I took a second pan amongst these boulders and there's twice as much gold. And the second pan, a nice speck there, and a nice speck there. Now it's really nice to see that this is a gold-bearing stream. Being it's a new stream, I didn't know, but that's a great thing. So now it's just a game of testing to see if I can find the best location for my time. It's tough digging around the boulders, but there are some clay-coated layers in between them. And usually that's a good sign because gold can get in there and stick. In theory, anyway. Wow, more gold. That's some good gold, holy cow. So that pan has some really nice specks. Some little ones and some bigger, chunkier ones. So I tested some other spots along the creek here, and the best gold I found is right amongst the boulders right here, where that good pan was. But being that's the best spot I found for gold, I'm gonna start classifying buckets of material and start production. The faster we can run, the more profits we'll have. Big chunks of clay. Broken glass. You know what that means. So in our tailings, we got straight up pieces of granite. We got pieces of basalt, pieces of gabbro. That's the same as basalt, but more crystalline. Basically, this cooled inside the earth, this cooled on the surface of the earth. So the crystal structure is different. Here's a nice piece of schist.
Language.
Schist.
It's got foliation, some fabric to the rock, so that's metamorphic. And then here's what we're always looking for, pieces of quartz. And that can carry with it gold. That might be the source of the gold that we find here. And then inside some of these rocks, or alongside some of these boulders, are just thick coated with clay. And that can be a place where gold will stick. And the clay will kind of hold it in place. So I gotta make sure I wash all that off. Oh no!
Sassy?
Oh, help! Help!
Sassy's in the river, Chance.
Get out! No! No!
Oh man!
Hang on, Sassy!
Got it. So our first bucket's ready to run. I don't always get to use it, but today we're going to be using our sluice to get through the material. And I should be able to find a spot in some of this fast-moving water to make it work. All the bubbles out of it. Looks pretty good. We'll try that. I see all these little rills, they're swirling around, and that's what I want to see, so I think it's running okay. Guess what I forgot again? Forgot my scooper again. I don't know why a scooper is so hard to remember. Well, this sluice is running pretty fast, so hopefully there's still gold in it when we're done. Every time I watch these shows like Gold Rush or whatever, it seems like their sluice box is just flying, like it's running so fast. But they're catching a lot bigger gold than I am. The gold I'm catching is so tiny. Maybe I need to run it slower, but I'm just not experienced enough to really know how fast is too fast, how slow is too slow, because you can run it both ways. So every day I come out here and do this, it's another classroom session. It's another learning event. Someday I'll know what I'm doing. There's the last of it. I ran this through really fast, so hopefully there's still some gold left in it. I do see black sand being captured into little pockets, so I would assume gold would be along with that. And I see one piece of gold in my indicator map. There's a load of really black concentrates. Time for the fun part. Let's pan it. Wow. That's pretty good. They're not big, but there's all kinds of little pieces there. Pieces along the black sand. Pieces up over there. And a nice chunk right there. It's like the night sky.
Let's not get carried away.
Now most of the time I bring an extra bucket, and that's my classified bucket. I just dump the black sand in there, but I didn't bring one of those today, so I'm just gonna snuffer up all the black sand, and this will be my classifieds. You don't wanna miss any. See, and that reveals more pieces. And some lead. I'm empty. Let's fill it up again. One bucket's not enough.
I want more!
I just have one question. Can toads get frostbite underwater? I don't feel like that's possible. They feel like they're about to fall off. Now here's one of those clay-covered rocks. Just as an experiment, I'm gonna clean this off special into my pan and pan it out just to see if this is hanging on to any gold. See, the clay itself is full of gravel. You know what? That looks a lot more like till now that I break it off like that. Breaking it in half and looking at it like that, that's not a clay layer. That's actually just till. It's a very clayey till. So what that would tell me is that this river is more erosional than depositional, meaning it's cutting down. Like you can see that the banks are very steep here. So this is cutting down into the till, eroding it away, and there's really not a lot of sediment building up. It's cutting down into the till, and it doesn't take that many scoops to get down to the till zone. At least that's what it looks like to me. That being the case, the gold would still probably stick on top of this, but there's not going to be any gold inside this. This was just pushed along by the glaciers. The gold hasn't been concentrated to get in there. It's just till. I don't really see any gold sticking to the pan. There's a couple micro dots, but that might have been in there already. Interesting. Regardless, I don't want to dig into that too much. I'm just going to dig on the top of it. It's kind of nice you don't have to dig too deep to get to that clay till. I'm just washing the edges off. There's no point in breaking it up. So there we go, bucket number 2. I'm really glad I came to this spot. It's pretty good gold and it's a pretty interesting area. I mean, good gold for glacial gold. Anytime you're doing this, you kind of got to have your expectations low. You're not going to be finding big chunks, at least not most of the time. Some people do find bigger chunks. I've heard of nuggets being found in Wisconsin, but it's definitely a rarity. I'm content just finding these tiny little specks. I don't know why. But just seeing the color in the pan, it's just fun. And profitable, well, depends on how you measure it, I guess. But hopefully by the end of this, I'll weigh it up and show you how many dollars worth we actually find in one of these trips. I'm still running this pretty fast, but a little slower than the first time. There's the last of it. I can't tell if that's a piece of gold or a yellow rock. But if it is, that's a big piece of gold for these parts. I think it's gold. Let's see what we got. Oh, I see all kinds of lead. Wow. Since I only got my snuffer, I'm going to take it down a little bit farther than I normally would, because kind of got to snuffer up all the gold instead of just dumping it in a concentrate bucket. Oh, there's going to be some good gold to see, for sure. Wow. Oh my gosh. Look at that cleanup. My goodness. Full of little specks. And some nice big chunks too. There's only one other spot I've been to where I found gold this good. And I don't think anybody's even been in here. I don't see any sign of digging at all, except for me. I gotta keep this place top secret.
Keep it secret. Keep it safe.
That's another reason to fill your holes. My toes are really, really cold. But I really, really want to fill another bucket. I'm going to assume they're not frozen. They can't freeze underwater. So I just ran another partial bucket, and there were some really good pieces of gold in there. One nugget, probably ½ ounce, but I dropped it. Rather than fill another bucket though, I'm going to try another method. I'm going to just shovel gravel right onto my sluice. I don't have a screen on here that kind of keeps the big gravels from going right on top of the sluice, but it still kind of works. And it'll be a way to keep my toes a little warmer, I think. So I'm just going to shovel material. We'll see how well it works. It just helped the little bigger gravels slide off there. And the sand kind of stays behind and still roils its way down. Still works. I'm not sure this is keeping my feet any warmer. I'll just stop being a baby, I guess. I'm gonna have to build a self-classifying screen for the next time I come here. Look at this piece of glass I dug up. It's really blue. Wonder if that's cobalt glass. That's fancy glass. So I've been shoveling a fair amount of material on here. And you know, one thing I'm kind of surprised about is I'm not seeing a lot of quartz. There is some, but really not that much. But there's still good gold here. Now, I'm gonna assume I probably shoveled a bucket worth of material over this sluice. So I'm gonna clean it up and see how good our capture rate was. Or at least see if we captured anything. Okay, let's see. Nice. Oh yeah, beautiful. Look at that. So just shoveling it on there, we still captured some really nice gold. Look at all that. That works pretty good. All right, so I'm gonna pack up and go, but there's one thing we gotta do before we leave. Fill our holes. I'm gonna do that for numerous reasons. One, it's just a responsible thing to do. And two, I don't want anyone else to see I'm digging here. This is my own personal spot. It's not that hard. Fill your holes. And all my concentrates are in here. So let's take it home, weigh it up, and see how profitable this is. All right, we're back with our snufferings, and I got one of these real small scales, and I'm hoping it's gonna be sensitive enough to detect what we got today so we can start tallying our profits. Well, let's pan it out. I got my pan, a little bit of jet dry so the gold doesn't float, and my panning tub. So that's not a bad little pile right there. We did really well today. There's some pieces of lead in there. I'll try to get those out. Now in order to weigh this, I gotta dry it first. So I got a metal weighing tray, and I'm gonna squirt the gold in there. Alright, so that's dried. I'll take our scale and see if it will register. .022 grams. So the price of gold per gram today is $83.72. So if we take 0.022 grams times 83.72, we got $1.84. That's $1.84 gold. I'd say that's a pretty good take. I think Freddie and Juan would be proud of that.
I'm happy with it.
I am as well.
Now that we got a scale, eventually we'll weigh up our season end tally. But for now, thanks for watching. Come on back for the next one. Bye-bye.